It's Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not going to give this up till November. 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. 5 p.m. on the West Coast, and we are live. And I'm yelling again. Why am I always yelling, Bill? Welcome, adventurers. I'm your guide, Sean McZoo, and this is the Reptile Show Reporter. As usual, Bill Strand, the headmaster of the Chameleon Academy, is my co-host, and our scat master. If you need to talk about poop, he's here for you 24/7.
And everybody, Sean thinks he has a topic for this episode. We'll see.
I may have a topic, but I didn't even put it in the chat, but we will see what happens. Tonight, we're going to talk about the CRISPR technology, not really about the technology, how they made these dire wolves, but did they really make dire wolves, or is this all just something dumb that they did as a stunt? They did do it. There are animals, but we need to talk further about it. You'll hear what both of us think about it. At least you'll hear what I have to think about it. But first, with the video. All right. Let's go to the chat, Bill. Who's here? Mikey Ben.
Mikey Ben's here.
Are these all people? There's more people in the chat than people that are no. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Mikey Ben's here. Who else?
Let's see. Whoops.
Nate. I saw Nate.
Stephanie Payne.
Stephanie Payne. We call her number 2, but she was Stephanie Payne the first. Really. Who else?
My screen is. How do I get this?
Mikey Ben's back. I think he was gone for a while.
All right, that's it for now.
All right, guys, that's it for now. So, Bill.
Yep.
Any announcements?
Well, for those who keep track, I am plowing through with this book. I am almost. I have one more section to do. And then it's the total review and then getting it out. I'm also trying to get Squishy is being introduced to his first silkworm. And so we'll see what happens. He's got it in there right now. So you'll see me look over just to see what's going on. And okay, so that's what's going on in my life.
Bill, I heard you enlisted a real curmudgeon to review your book for you. And then you're going to pay him way too much money, triple his last charge.
You know what? The book has grown, so
you got plenty of money to triple the charge of the curmudgeon. Okay,
I will triple the charges. I'm looking for somebody who's really cranky and wants to ruin my day.
Yes, someone who's willing to put you down left and right and tell you like it is, or even like they think it is sometimes. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even need to know how it is. I need to know how it's perceived.
That's what, perception is everything, Bill.
Truth is overrated.
Yes. All right. So, for me, announcements. Our dogs got cut today. They got their hair finally groomed. Wow, they look like a quarter of what they did this morning. So, they may be jumping in and making noise today. So they look like a quarter of what we let them have their hair until the end of winter. And it's kind of the end of winter now, though it's only 47 degrees here. So other than that, those secret chameleons, I've paired them up. And what do you call it? I've created pairs artificially that I'm going to try. And we'll see what happens as time goes on. They have a 6 to 9 month, not incubation. What is it called, Bill? When they live bear in their.
Well, it's I guess it's officially incubation.
It's incubation, right? Yeah. So it's not like incubation for laying an egg. It's incubation for live bearing. So
well, they're not viviparous. They're ovoviviparous,
right.
Which means
they keep their eggs inside themselves and they give live birth, but there's eggs in there. So, yeah. Okay. All right. How long do you keep chameleons together when breeding them? It really depends on how well they like each other. Only a second if the I
Yeah.
always, and Bill taught me how to do this. So I always introduce the female into the male's cage and I see how they look. If they turn different colors of darkness, I take them away. If they don't mind, or the male puts on a show of dominance and the female, saddles up or whatever, then I leave them in there as long as necessary to figure out. And sometimes I leave a camera on them because I don't want to be pestering them the 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 hours. I don't ever leave them overnight, but I'm sure some people do. But
Well, it's with me, it's either 30 seconds or it's a couple of hours, or, depending upon how well they're getting along, it could be a couple of days.
all right, let's see. I was trying to put up his question and I put up. All right, there we go. All right, I put up my thing. Hey, Renee's here. We don't have her picture yet, so but we can say that. Let's see. Who else is here? No one else yet new. Okay. All right. So, Bill, what do you think about this dire wolf situation? Are they dire wolves?
I don't really have a strong opinion on it. Whether these are actually dire wolves or not, I think I am excited for the technology that they are, I won't say perfecting, they are refining so they're able to do stuff like this. Whether they bring back the dire wolves or not, I think is just beside the point. And I'm waiting until they can bring back a dinosaur. Okay. So they brought it back a white wolf.
So they really didn't have the whole genome. They don't have any frozen species. They don't even know what it looks like. All they have were bones, and that were in the tar pits at some point. And so they don't even know how big it was. They only could guess how big it was based on how big the bones were. They took gray wolves and they spliced their DNA with 15 or 20 different loci to make it white, to make it bigger. There was no evolution, all the stuff that happened with evolution over time to create the bigger thing. And it's not even from the same genus or species. It's not even from the same genus. What's the one above genus?
Family?
Family? No, what's above family even? Phyla? I don't know. Whatever it might be. It's not even in the same. It's like on the same tree, but it's a whole nother branch that they tried. So I don't know. To me,
what's the significance? What happens in the world if we decide this is a dire wolf, and what happens in the world if we decide this just
you
isn't?
can call it whatever you want because all words are made up, Bill. We've gone back to that at some point.
But I mean, what's the significance of them splicing genes and having it dire wolf like? What is that? As far as I can tell, that gets us, okay, we've practiced the gene splicing, and this is another step forward in being able to work with it.
But it's not real, Bill. I mean, it's nothing like, we don't even know if it's a dire wolf. We don't have an example.
Okay.
It was 10,000 years ago that the dire wolves existed. Over 10,000.
What's the difference between that and a poodle? I mean, unless there's some plan to release these into the wild.
There is.
They're going to release them into the wild and repopulate?
Yes, but they don't have the environment that they used to have.
All right, well, that's
all the
stupid
trees have been cut down for farmland.
We've already got wolves out there. We can't release something new into the environment and say, yeah, this is good.
I agree. We can't do that. It's going to be terrible for the environment. They're going to create they're going to do woolly mammoths from an Indian elephant. They're going to do the dodo bird. Why, I don't know. I don't even know if they're doing the dodo bird from. And they're going to do the Tasmanian tiger. That sounds like a great plan.
Release the dodo bird back onto the Mauritius. Okay. It's not going to ruin any environment that's already there. But it's something like a dire wolf.
You do have good examples of a woolly mammoth, though. Renee makes a good point. The dire wolf is not really like a dire wolf, and but we just don't have. It's like reintroducing something that went away, and we don't know
Wait.
why.
So who, under whose authority? Who's going to say, yeah, release dire wolves into my country? Who's going to say
I
that?
don't think anyone's authority. They're going to create them and just release them.
Well, then
Unless
they're
we make a
breaking the
law that
law,
says you
right?
can't.
You can't release animals into the wild.
Is there really a law about that?
Well, maybe not in Cleveland, but generally in like Yellowstone, they're not going to allow that. Can't release things. You can't even release your dog into the wild.
Right now, you don't even know. We don't even know what's going on in Yellowstone National Park because all the bison are running out, and there might be an explosion there. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Okay, someone released a dire wolf, apparently.
No, I don't think that's what happened, Bill. But I think that one of the springs is going to burst, or there's going to be a volcano that bursts, or something like that. Is what they're trying to say. I don't know if that's still the story. Every one of these.
Well, I didn't read anything about reintroducing them anywhere because that sounds ridiculous. I don't think anybody would take that seriously.
Listened to the people who actually it was Joe Rogan's podcast with the guy who was part of creating these dire wolves, said there was going to be a reintroduction plan. They have 3 of them. They're 2 males that they had, Romulus and Remus, which were the founders of the Romans, and they named the female Khaleesi, which would be
I am going to. I didn't see that interview, but I am going to say, unless they have a government that says, yeah, you can release these into our national parks, I don't see that as being serious. What's going on
with the puppies back there? My wife and my daughter have got the puppies back there. I don't know what they're doing.
They will have a contained habitat. Didn't they see Jurassic Park?
I actually said that on Dylan's at home thing, and people got all over me about it. I think the comments have been deleted. People went like ballistic. That's just a movie. I'm like, well, okay, it is just a movie.
What do you mean that's just a movie? When has that never happened?
Right, but it's always a disaster
in Hawaii.
Whenever we mess with Mother Nature, we get burnt.
Oh my gosh, are these people really defending? Oh, I mean, what, they want to release it on private property?
I don't know. They said that was an island, so they didn't see all the movies, I guess, then, because the island came to us.
Well, where are we supposed to...
Ian said it best: nature finds a way.
Yeah, who in the world thinks that you're going to be able to contain something? That doesn't work unless it's actively being hunted. I can't imagine that who would get over you for saying that. That is so obvious. Yeah, it's a movie, but it's a movie based on real
but actually,
life.
Dylan actually deleted the one comment I was most angry about, or someone deleted it because it was like making fun of me. It was like it was gone. I went to look at it and to see what everybody said about it, and it was gone. So I don't comment a bunch on YouTube. Actually, I went to my Reptile Show Reporter account. I usually use my McZoo Exotics account. And I went to it specifically to comment so that he would know who I was. But anyways, no, it was there was 200 something comments on his thing. There's a bunch of people.
Why don't we get the trolls here?
What?
Why aren't the trolls showing up here?
Because they're afraid of me, Bill. They're afraid of taking me on with my backup and all the people in the chat. They're afraid to come here and talk to us.
Oh boy. Yeah, sure. We can contain it. We'll contain it. No problem. That always works.
They're actually just other animals or new animals they've created, just like they create different lines of puppies and poodles, and the whole single breed species of dogs is like, how many breeds do we have? And the big huge mammoth dog and the tiny little Chihuahua are the same species. It's just crazy. Yes. But I really want to know. I would want to know what Clint has to say. I got my Clint shirt on today.
Okay.
But I would want to know what Clint has to say about this. I'm sure he has something crazy to say.
Oh, hey, just watch his video channel. I'm sure he's working on it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna. I mean, these only came out a couple days ago. That's why I thought I'd do this. But and yeah, Stephanie Payne, Jurassic Park. All right, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And Jurassic Park, you know what?
Guys.
They made critical errors. They used amphibian DNA, which they didn't realize amphibians could change their sex if necessary. And they used, they gave them one amino acid. They took away one amino acid they weren't provided. But nature finds a way, Bill. That's what's going on. What do we got? We got a silkworm sighting.
Wait a minute.
I'm waiting, Bill. What's going on? All right, here we go. Adding it to the stage. Wow.
Yes! Squishy got the silkworm.
That doesn't look like a silkworm, but you can't tell what it is. It could be a hornworm. It could be a tiny little hornworm. It could be a superworm. It does look like a worm, though.
I caught him. He got it before I could get the camera out, so I could only get the end result.
All right. Renee's all over tonight. So precious.
Yes. Oh, poor. Oh, Eliza, you're not here. Oh, no. That's okay. We got the Squishy crew here, the Squishy fan club.
Eliza is not here yet. I haven't seen her yet today, so I don't know what happened. She must be a parent-teacher conference or something. That's always her excuse.
All right. Well,
I don't know how many kids she's got. I've got 5. I'm never at those, so okay. Mine are all in college. Mine have all gone through college. Yep. But she's actually going to see it because she can replay this and just not comment, and we won't read the comments. But there you go. All right. So what do you think, Bill? Should they do the woolly mammoth? And what will they do with it? Will they repopulate the north with the woolly mammoth?
Well, the dire wolf's got to hunt something.
I think elephants are awesome, but I think we should just get more elephants. That they belong here in this time frame, you know?
Yeah, I am sure that someone brought up the point that, well, why don't we just repopulate the earth with things that have just gone extinct? But this has better marketing.
De-extinction doesn't exist because they didn't really bring back a dire wolf. The genome isn't even close.
Fine.
It's just not. Wow, it's just not.
What does everybody else think in the chat?
What else think?
Renee says I don't like people. Okay.
Well, we like you.
That was an open-ended question.
We're always off topic. What would you be impressed with the woolly mammoth's poop, Bill? Would you be able to find parasites, and would they be the right parasites? I don't know.
It would be the exact same parasites. They haven't changed at all.
Would you be able to do anything with the dire wolf scat? I mean, would we know?
I don't do mammals.
All right. So all the things they're trying to bring back are mammals too. Because why would they bring back the dodo, Bill? Is it just
because that's cool?
What was cool about the dodo bird?
It's like nothing else. I mean, the dire wolf. Okay, so it's a big white wolf. We got those on Game of Thrones. We've already seen it. Dodo, that's completely different. We can have pet dodos. That would be a cool pet. That is a market. Make dodos and for pets.
They'll charge people to ride them.
I want a dodo.
When was the last time a dodo was on this planet alive?
1800s.
Okay, so we know enough about them to know if they would have been a good pet or not, I guess.
Oh, sure. They just sit around and they have absolutely no fear of humans. They just sit around and hang out. They're slow and
mammoth parasites would be good as big as a Great Dane. We could be mammoth parasites for all we know.
I don't know. We could find out that dodos are mean when they need to be, and that just wasn't recorded. But
so Nate says he's indifferent. Science is neat.
Nate, you want a dodo for a pet? We can get you a dodo.
Why? because AI is going to kill us anyway. Skynet's going to get us. We're going to have robots that are in our houses that are going to take us all out before we even get to the point where all these animals are going to be populated enough. And then the dodo bird and the Tasmanian tiger and the dire wolf and the woolly mammoth will repopulate the earth.
I want a dodo.
Well, my wife wants one too, so there we go.
All right. They're
going to be fairly expensive, I'm sure.
At least at the beginning. But I'm sure that's going to be a very popular pet. Everybody's going to want a dodo. We're going to put them on leashes and we're going to walk around like dogs. You'll see.
I already walk my dogs around. I don't need a dodo to do that.
I want a dodo. Sean's basement. Sean's backyard and Sean's basement are very popular places to be.
I know, but if Skynet attacks, yes, that's probably a good place to be. I don't know. I can't say yes or no if that's a good place. And I can't say I'll admit anyone. Even you, Mikey Ben, you might be, it's family first, my friend.
Well, I know
there'll be a limited amount of resources and I won't share.
Skynet will be nice to me because I've been nice to it all along.
Yeah, you're going to be the first to go there, Bill.
Whenever I talk to AI, I say please and thank you, and I let it know how useful it has been.
Yes, and it will take you out just like, hey, Two Turtle Tom's late.
Oh boy, Two Turtle Tom, Mr. Opinion, we need your opinion.
We need your opinion. What do you think about the dire wolves? The dire wolves, we should put them in quotes, that they created.
All right, Two Turtle Tom, you got to tell us, are they dire wolves? And would you want a pet dodo?
Oh, good Lord. Nate doesn't even know what Skynet is.
Nate.
Watch the Terminator series.
Whoa. All right. Lord. Hold everything. Nate. All right. You have homework. Go and watch the Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Watch Terminator 1, then watch Terminator 2. You don't have to watch Terminator 3, 4, 5, or whatever else. See? Two Turtle Tom's on.
Well, Tom was very concise tonight. Not dire wolves, give me a pet dodo. Oh.
Yeah, Nate, there's a lot of cultural references that you need to watch those movies to get.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Watching Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, Star Trek maybe. What else?
For what? To understand our culture
references here.
Well, definitely Terminator. And
Terminator.
Yes, you definitely need Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and Terminator.
iRobot. What were some of the other when the machines turned on us?
Well, I mean, you can do 2001, but boy, that bored me to. You'll get.
Good Lord, Bill! I couldn't make it through those movies. Space Odyssey.
Wait a minute, Nate. What do you mean you've seen none of those movies? We've just listed the cornerstone of culture.
Wow. Please. I may have to take my chameleon back from him.
Oh, no. We need to take him to the movies.
Okay, we're going to have... That would be a much better answer.
We are going to have 2-week programming. Not even deprogram. 2-week programming.
I'm going to show him on a screen in my backyard every night.
Oh boy. Okay, there's 9 Star Wars movies, and of course we got to do the extended version of the Lord of the Rings.
And Lord of the Rings extended version, and The Hobbit, all 3 movies.
Yeah.
And
Indiana Jones, the first 2. You don't have to go beyond that.
Star Wars, because there's a couple others in the middle that actually make sense. What was that one? The everyone dies in the end.
Rogue One.
Rogue One. It was funny because when it came out, my daughter hadn't seen it before, and my wife had said something about Han Solo dying in one of the movies before my other daughter has heard them, and she told all her friends everyone dies. And their friends went and saw it, and everyone dies. And she's like, why did you blow the movie? And she's like, I didn't know it was going to happen. So it was really fun.
All
But
right. Nate says you
anyways,
can take his Tegu. Oh, no,
I
Nate.
sold all my Tegus, my friend.
No, Nate, you have to explain why you haven't seen the cornerstones of our culture. This demands explanation.
Yes.
Let's rehabilitate Nate in A Clockwork Orange. Yes, he probably
Oh,
hasn't seen Clockwork Orange, so he doesn't know
I'm
what's ahead
sure
of
he
him.
hasn't seen Clockwork Orange. I saw it, but
Oh yeah,
wow, that's
yep.
a
That's what's needed.
that is a yeah. Tape his eyes open and do whatever it needs to do.
Star Wars needs another. Hey, come on.
Hey, no, we're not gonna.
It's
Why did I even put that
evolving.
on the thing?
I've not seen a lot of movies. Sheltered Life.
Wow.
All right. Well, I feel like all of us around Nate have let him down. We
Yes.
we've allowed this.
He's still young, Bill. He's not, I don't think he's 40 or 50 or definitely not 50. He's probably in his 30s. So, there's still time. There's hope.
Okay. All right. All right.
I mean, my kids saw all these movies by the time they were, I don't know,
Well,
6.
yes.
even my even my one daughter in the wheelchair loves the Star Wars movies and the Lord of the Rings and likes the themes and the songs and everything else. So,
Yeah. Well, me and my daughter have been
34.
arguing about it for our
Holy
entire life.
mackerel. He might be lost for sure, Bill. I thought he was younger, but we may have lost him. I don't know.
Two Turtle Time liked The Acolyte.
I'm not even. You know what? I'm not going to even put that up there. There was only one person who liked the Accolade, and it was Tom. So only
Well,
one person in history will ever like the Accolade, and it's Tom.
it
That's how you're
wasn't
going to be
that
known. We're gonna call
bad. It
Tom
just
the
wasn't
Accolade now.
relevant. I just
Two Turtle Tom's going to become. We're going to call him the Accolade now. Accolade lover.
listen. Disney has made some false moves. I will grant that. And if anybody brings up Boba Fett, I'm just probably going to go into denial.
And Marsha Ann's here. I don't know if I noticed her before, so there we go.
Oh yeah, she snuck in.
Yeah, she says he's barely half her age, but I don't know.
Oh. Well, that's Nate not having seen any of those is bigger news than this Dire Wolf thing.
Yeah, absolutely. That might come back to haunt us someday. We might, we might get kidnapped and we'll be like held somewhere and we'll be trying to give secrets to the people to get us, and we'll say all these references to Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and maybe I don't know what else, and we need
Oh, Renee's watching The Acolyte from Tom's recommendation.
oh wow. That's a mistake.
Wow.
That's a mistake. I like some of the stuff Tom likes, but the Acolyte, man, I don't know.
Well, we got something interesting coming up. The Andor has been a
might be interesting.
switch, and now that it's like gotten some momentum, I am very interested to see what they now do with it now that they know that people loved it. So we may get some really good stuff coming up soon. 22nd.
We need Eliza here to help us talk about what we could be secretly saying to them. Eliza would know what we were talking about, and she's not that old.
She like fact checks me.
Yes.
So,
wait a minute.
Oh. But never just. Oh, now Stephanie Payne's talking about anime. Skeleton Crew equals unwatched. Oh, I agree with you, Tom.
Skeleton Crew. I started to watch that. It was really weak.
But you know what? We say that. I wonder if the younger generation just ate it up and loved it.
I don't know. Sunday could be fruit fly and
That's right.
sci-fi culture night.
Right
Yeah.
after Fruit Flies, I'm going to put on a movie. And we will slowly, week after week, we will bring Nate back up to the culture of his culture.
So
My kids
even
hate
Two Turtle Time's kids hate it. It doesn't. His kids probably like the Accolade too. So I used to look fondly onto his kids in the sense of liking them and whatever. I don't know. He's
All right. Well, as far as anime, I loved Violet Evergarden, Death Note, and I enjoyed Attack on Titan.
You enjoyed what?
Attack on Titan, Violet Evergarden, and that was a beautiful show. They had great art in that one. I just loved watching the scenery.
I don't know why I'm so funny, but okay. All right. Well, then I do agree with Tom's kids. Just Tom's unusual. Must take after his lovely wife.
Oh, he liked Death Note. Nate liked Death Note. You know what? I never watch English sub. I always subtitles. Yes. I can't watch anime that's been English dubbed English. I have to
don't
watch
watch
the
any
subtitles.
anime, Bill.
Well, they're
We think they're weird.
It was
My wife and
difficult
I
for me
think
to
all
get
that
into
stuff
it.
is weird.
There's a couple of them that are to my taste. It's kind of like, okay,
Well,
how spicy do you want it?
Okay, I guess is I don't even remember the name of the thing.
Describe.
The hero's name was On. He was part of the there were 4 different people groups that liked that one was Earth
The Last
Movers.
Avatar?
The Last Avatar. Was that anime?
I think that's like American anime.
Okay, so I can stand that.
Yeah, okay, that was good.
I didn't like the live action one. It got weird, but
well, that's true.
The cartoon
Parks
was
and Rec
really
was
neat.
awesome. All right, Sean. Well, we can figure out what kind of anime and slowly ease you into it. I can't stand the big blah, 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 blah type stuff, but when they get very artistic, it's like
I have a pile of shows I still got to watch, Bill.
Let's see. Love the.
I don't have time for all this stuff. I did like The Office a little bit, but we really in Parks and Recreation is very similar, but I don't know. I couldn't get into all the stuff. It wasn't always that funny. The Office got old fast.
And I'm glad to see this because I would be depressed if we ever actually stayed on a topic that Sean picked.
At least we're not talking about poop tonight.
Oh, I haven't done my. I still have a fecal that I got to take a look at. That's sitting in the refrigerator right now.
I hope it's not your personal refrigerator, Bill.
Okay. Hope
Just
away.
Don't tell us.
Appleseed. All right.
Tom's going to China. Let's hope they don't keep him.
Oh boy. Yeah, at least with everything that's going on, flights to Madagascar are pretty cheap.
There you go.
Maybe we could have a movie night at the 10th anniversary meetup. Yeah, we got to figure out what's going on. Clint is not getting back to me, so I may have to come up with a different something. And yes, we should have a movie night. We'll bring Star Wars or something like that.
Wow.
Family Guy, Futurama. Okay.
I actually have the VHS tapes of the original Star Wars series.
Wow.
6, 7, and 8.
Oh, you got them before George Lucas messed with them.
Took them all off the market and did everything. And I have a VCR that I could play them on. Wore them before they got. They were really. He put them towards his vision and what he didn't try to do. Yes, the Reptarium opens April 21st, and or Legacy, and I was hoping to have a next Wednesday's show about it. And I was going to invite you, Tom, if you want to come on and we could talk about our experience at the Reptarium and what we hope for the Legacy. Just let me know. And I might ask Chris. Chris isn't here either. Chris Green isn't here tonight either. So I might ask him because he's also been to the Reptarium a lot of times. So I've got to I think actually, wait a minute. My picture of him, I think. No, it's. I got a better picture. I got a picture of him with the with one of the alligators from the Reptarium, but it's not the one I have now. So we're going to talk about Legacy next week, and we'll get all kinds of complaints because we're not going to talk about it the whole time. We're going to go off topic. We're going to get all kinds of crazy complaints, but I'm just going to ignore them all, as I always do.
I watched V a little bit. Didn't watch a lot of it.
And, as my, I don't know, he was my Latin and Greek teacher, but he was also, I think, a religion teacher back in the. He used to say, love me or hate me, just don't be indifferent. So, if you hate me, then at least I reached you somehow, right?
All right. Yeah, well. I was actually a Battlestar Galactica kid.
The original, right? Not that nonsense that they came back with.
Well, 78 was my year. Yeah, I didn't, not the Galactica 1980, although I enjoyed the remake. I know there's some purists out there who say a remake is garbage. No, it was a very interesting retelling. I'm okay.
The remake was different though, Bill. I mean, it was interesting, but it was totally different.
Yes.
It changed a lot of stuff. I watched both. I've watched, the whole series every day, every week I got, I had to see all that stuff, but
that's right, BSG. Oh. Hello. Yvette? Excuse me.
Yeah, hold on a second. Hello? Just 1 second.
All right. So wait a minute. I got a commitment from Tom for next week. So he's happy to join. I don't even know if that's about about next week, but I'm going to take it. Run with it. All right. We've got everybody showing up late tonight.
So love BSG. Yeah.
Oh.
Battlestar Galactica was awesome. I loved it. And I was very disappointed that they didn't have a second season.
What are we talking about?
Battlestar Galactica.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, Mikey Ben said he loved it.
The
Lauren Green.
I thought they had a couple seasons.
Oh, I don't know. Probably the back. Just unlock the door.
Which version, Bill? The first or the second?
Well, if it's talking about the Lauren Green, then that would be the 1978. Right.
It was only 1 year?
Yeah.
I thought it went on a couple years.
No, it was only 1 year, and it was just like $1 million an episode. And back then, that was like $1 billion in today's money. And they were very short-sighted at ABC. Obviously, I can say that as a guy who had absolutely no insight to the inside workings, but they canceled it after one season. They had another season. I
had the Battlestar Galactica Cylon thing with even the one that shot the bullets that they recalled because people were swallowing them. I had that. I had the little the what did they call the good guys planes, whatever those were called. I had those too, and I don't know. I had all
Colonial Vipers. Do we need oh my goodness. That's his 10th anniversary.
He's a youngin' too.
Man, at this 10th anniversary, we are going each night. We're going to do Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Lord of the Rings, and
Buck
Terminator.
Rogers.
Yes. They awesome. Should have only done one season of Buck Rogers after Gil Gerard.
They should have done more seasons of Battlestar Galactica and only one of Buck Rogers.
Oh my gosh.
Makes a lot more sense. Looking
if
back,
you remember that guy, Gil Gerard, he came back after the hiatus. It just totally gained all sorts of weight and wanted to fit into the
What was the,
costume, didn't care.
What was the Serenity? That also was other
Firefly?
shows.
Yeah, I didn't see that though. I know it was big,
All right.
but I had fun with Buck Rogers too.
All right. So we're at 40 minutes, Bill. I'm going to say our goodnights. We've definitely got off the topic. We got away from dire wolves. We weren't attacked by woolly mammoths. We all said we wanted Dodo for a pet, even though we don't know what we're going to do with them other than walk them. I don't even know if you can walk a dodo, but we're going to. And I think we all agree that we don't need a Tasmanian tiger to be a pet. I think that would be or a dire wolf. Or, I mean, I might consider a mammoth, depending on what they ate. If they're a vegetarian, there'd be a lot of food necessary, but they wouldn't try to eat me then. So, all right. Good night, everybody. Next week, we're going to talk about the legacy. Or at least we're going to try.
All right. We'll see ya.